you might get a lot of views, and then you end up realizing that it didn't really give you the kind of satisfaction that you think it would. When you're starting out as a content creator, one of the most frustrating things can be not getting any views on your videos, photos, whatever it is that you're posting. And it's very quick and easy to then blame it on the Instagram or the YouTube algorithm and think that there's something conspiring against you to not give you any attention. I found for myself that that's rarely the case. So today I want to share with you my personal experiences as someone that has probably been in that exact same situation as you are right now, and maybe give you a couple of new perspectives and ways to see it. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Florian. If you have been here for a while, then you know that I've been uploading to this channel for a little over 2 years by now. And in the meantime, I've made one YouTube series that gotten a total of about 900,000 views. So I feel like I have a couple of personal insights that I want to share with you today that might be some new perspectives that you haven't heard or ways that you haven't seen it before. So for that, we're gonna make a little bit of a throwback to about 2.5 to 3 years ago, where I was probably in a similar position to where you are at right now, which was that I was uploading content, I was putting a lot of time and effort into making videos to my Instagram, to my YouTube, mainly the YouTube channel, and it was very frustrating because I would upload a video and it would get 40, 50, maybe 100 views, and I would just sit there and think, it's way too late to start this, the YouTube algorithm doesn't work, someone has something against me, they're trying to block me, I don't have any chance as a small content creator. And looking back at it now, I realized that there were just a couple of key things that I didn't understand at that point in time. But I had one thing going for myself, and that was that I experimented around a lot with the different sort of formats and just kept uploading different sort of things until eventually I had figured something out for myself. And especially recently when I decided to stop making this reaction video series, that is the one that got the 900,000 views, you can watch it up here in the corner. People started asking, okay, why did you decide to not make that? And suddenly I see that you're not getting any views on the new videos. And that has a very particular reason, and I wanted to share that with you today because my perspective has changed very much when it comes to looking at views, and maybe it's gonna change yours as well. So I found for myself over the period that there's pretty much 3 different kind of approaches you can take for making videos. The first one is you just make whatever you enjoy most, whatever topics you're most passionate about, you just upload it to YouTube and then whatever happens, happens. You don't spend any time thinking about the algorithm, anything else. You just put it out there and wait and see what happens. Well, the times for that to just organically pop up are, of course, absolutely over. Maybe you'll hit the nail on the head and find a topic that a lot of people are interested in. That will be very lucky. But what is very likely what's going to happen is that it just disappears in the vast amount of videos that are on YouTube. So you end up getting 0 views. That can be frustrating. Yeah. So what is the other alternative that you have? Well, you can go on all the way the other end and make that approach where you would think about what does the YouTube algorithm want? What do people search for? What is the exact terms? Which one is the search term with a high search volume but little competition? And then exactly make a video just for that. And that is actually how I came up with this idea for the Editor Reacts series. The one that has really so far gotten me the most subscribers and has really made my channel grow. Because at that point in time I had seen over a while that this format of the reaction videos was something that was really working. And then I thought, how can I make titles and thumbnails that make me appear in the feed of all those subscribers from the big content creators, filmmakers, Sam Colder and so on. And that's when very quickly I came up with a recipe of making a thumbnail that is like excited because it gets a lot of clicks, naming it Editor Reacts and putting the face of a known content creator in there. And that was purely this approach where I thought, hey, this could really work and serve the YouTube algorithm and be something that they would promote. And eventually, as that might have led you to this channel, has proven to work. The thing is just that over a while I realized that I had this idea that, hey, I'm just gonna make such a series and it gets a lot of views. Then first of all, it's gonna make enough money so that it actually turns into a little side income for me. And then eventually that would help build a little business for myself around this YouTube channel. Well, I gotta disappoint you there, and maybe that's the thing that you need to hear now from someone that has made that experience. First of all, the ad revenue that I made from that is very, very tiny. And overall, the only thing that this has really brought to me was that there's a bigger number of subscribers and a bigger number of views on my channel. But aside from that, so the next time that you get super frustrated and thinking about, oh, I want this to get more views, then think about why do you want to get those views in the first place? Is it that you just need to have there stand a certain number so that you feel that it was worth the effort? Or do you need to see that so that you feel validated about it? What's really the reason? And eventually I came to the point where I was thinking, am I helping anyone with these kind of videos? And then I realized, yeah, maybe by giving people something to watch and to be entertained sitting on the couch for 5 to 10 minutes. But was it really making like a fundamental change to anyone's personal career as a content creator? And I came to the conclusion, no. So eventually I figured out, hey, this doesn't really have any deeper meaning for me. Obviously, because I only made it to serve the YouTube algorithm and to make it appear. So eventually I found myself that, hey, there must be some sort of an intermediate ground where you're not just randomly uploading anything, then just don't care about how it might be found or title, thumbnail, and so on. There must be something in between that extreme of not caring about it at all, how it performs, and the completely just making content that is geared towards feeding the algorithm. So eventually I came to the conclusion, and maybe that's something that you need to hear, is that in the long term, if you want to sustain making videos on YouTube, and that's eventually what's gonna make your channel grow, not just one video, but sustained effort into regular and consistent uploads, is that you need to find something that you really deeply care about and that you feel that you can bring something to the table, maybe make an impact. For me right now, that is to share those kinds of insights to help those who are aspiring to become content creators, maybe make it full-time, maybe build a YouTube channel, to share my knowledge now with the 3 or 4 years of experience that I have by now. And then as soon as you found out that you really want to talk about, then you can still take care of making such kind of videos, talking about such kind of topics, and then tweaking it and optimizing it with the title, the thumbnail, the tags, and so on, because there's so much that you can still do there to simply increase the chances of making something like this appear. Let's talk about a concrete example. So if you've watched any of the recent videos that I uploaded to the channel, if you haven't, no worries, up here I'm gonna be linking a playlist. I came up with this new little experiment where I wanted to show how I am cold emailing and reaching out to new potential clients. Because eventually that is something that I need to do for myself right now anyway. And also I feel that that can really help someone and make an impact for any aspiring and just starting out freelance content creator. However, what I did find looking through the analytics now is that there was a couple of things that really tell me that it's not YouTube that is the problem why this is not getting so many views. There's still a lot of things that I myself can do about it. So for example, I looked at the YouTube analytics and I saw that, hey, YouTube was giving me quite a big amount of impressions on those videos. It's just that people didn't click it. So there is this magic number in your YouTube analytics somewhere, and that is the click-through rate. How many people click on the thumbnail when they saw it in their feed? And on some of these videos that I uploaded for that series, that was extremely low, which can mean that either people didn't care about the topic or the title and thumbnail weren't really tempting enough for people to click on it. And that is something I can control. I can't control if people care about the topic, but there's still a lot that you can optimize even after you've published any videos. And there's actually quite a few practical takeaways that I want to share with you in another video, probably later this week, and how to optimize and tweak especially your thumbnails after you've already uploaded and published a video. But we're gonna be talking about this in detail probably in 1 or 2 days from now. What I really want to leave you with today is you need to think about what is the actual metric that you want to track. So what's the number that you want to track that shows you whether you're on the right path and whether you're on the way to success or not. And it can be very tempting and easy to think that it's views and likes, because those are very visual and they're straight in your face. And for a long time, that has been the case for me. Until eventually I figured out that, hey, I don't really care about that so much. I thought I would care about it in the beginning, then I had it, and then I realized that I didn't care about it. But instead, what I care much more is that consistently putting out stuff that I think is meaningful and that could help someone. So here's a little thing that I came up with for myself, how I track success on this channel from now on. And that is a very simple little piece of paper. I don't know if you recognize it, might be a little further away, but I have manual focus, so just leave it at this distance. This is simply a hand-drawn calendar of November. And every X that you see here is a day that I uploaded something to Instagram or YouTube. And every morning I get up and I see it, and every time that I upload something, I make an X. And that is the moment for me, the moment of success, the moment of where I think like, yeah, I get myself the pat on the shoulder. When I know that I put myself out there and I created something and I published it. Because eventually the problem is that the views and everything, the likes, you do not have it under control. You can certainly think about what increases the chances of getting more views, But in the end, you cannot control the people clicking on your video. The only thing you can control is taking the time and producing something and producing it regularly and putting it out there for people to see. And then eventually you might be finding exactly that audience that cares about what you have to say. So for me, I found for myself at the moment, the one metric that I want to be tracking is, did I upload something today? Did I share something anywhere? And as maybe you can see on last week, I had a bit of a good streak, and this is what really gets me motivated. So even if those videos here had 200 views, it doesn't matter, because I see this entire bar here, this entire week in which I uploaded something every single day. And that ultimately what I found for myself at the moment, that gets me motivated much more, because that is the thing that I myself have under control. So does that mean I don't care about views at all? No, of course it does not mean that. Of course I'm going to be trying to optimizing my content for that, but I decided that for now I'm going away from making purely content that is made with the algorithm in mind, and instead make content that I think is valuable and could be meaningful to someone right now, and then after the fact optimize it a bit more so that it increases the likelihood of something appearing. Because you might know that the process of uploading a video, the thumbnail and title is what comes in the very end, and we spend probably the least amount of time on it, and the most goes into the video. But that's a problem, because that's the little advertisement for your actual video. I've made the experience that sometimes a month, half a year, or even a year later, I just saw that in my analytics, a year later a video started picking up views. Suddenly, uncontrollably. And so that means that after you've published something, you can still go back in and tweak the title and tweak the thumbnail and optimize that and see if that maybe makes a change. And so that's exactly something that we're going to be looking at in the next video. Until then, I hope that this little rant that I gave today was helpful to you. Maybe it changed your perspective a little bit. Now, please leave in the comments, do you have that same frustration about not getting any views? And did this maybe today give you like a couple of new insights? What are you gonna do about it? And which were the numbers that so far you've looked at and that have gotten you really frustrated? Share that with me down below. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd be super excited. And then until the next video, and then we're probably gonna be looking at thumbnails. Okay, bye.